Hello and welcome to Creepy and Disturbing YouTube channels. My picks and recommendations part 3. The subject of today's channel of discussion is going to be a bit disturbing. Imagine a world where somebody decided to put an end to traditional storytelling and cut it out from human society. That kind of a world would be absolutely terrifying, and there is a YouTube channel which is unintentionally involved in this topic. It's run by a brilliant woman named Samantha Mowat. For those of you who do not know, Samantha's ultimate passion is telling stories. To her, these stories are all based on fact. She describes herself as a UFO experiencer who has had encounters with beings she considers to be extraterrestrial in origin, and she goes on in detail describing what kind of persons she thinks she is interacting with. Each story she composes is told masterfully and can be made into a very good movie if that was ever going to happen. And I find it actually very strange that nobody has currently attempted to make a film based on her descriptions of what she sees as her encounters. Well, I'm terribly sorry to tell this to people who currently presume themselves to be in contact with extraterrestrials. If that was the case, then somebody has not been watching the news lately, because there has been a lot of talk about we are living on a flat plane covered by a dome, and that nobody can penetrate that dome because, according to those who are convinced that's the case, it's a diamond. How can any spaceship, supposedly from space, be able to go through a diamond? Beats me. Well, the stories are incredibly good nonetheless. They all have an introduction, they have a body, they have a full body, and a conclusion. And they are all short films, and if you love short science fiction stories, this is the channel for you. Every story she tells feels like a good short movie, which she is the director, but she sees herself as playing an extra role. So she is not, by definition, a narcissist. She is not a schizophrenic. The people she says she is having communication with, they are not telling her to hurt anyone or anything. But here is where the disturbing part comes in. It's the people who do want to hurt her who terrify me. I am going to call them the SM Hate Club. So, legend has it, there is this woman on YouTube, her name is Samantha Mowat, and somehow she managed to, this language is being used here, somehow she found herself in the middle of what looks like a hate club created specifically to target her. These are people from all over the world who want her to do things she cannot do. The scariest comment from them requested her to leave if I remember right, Or, the Orkney Islands, or Orkney Island. Samantha and I had been discussing this beautiful for environment, and she is an absolutely splendid photographer. She takes amazing photographs, and many of mine pale in comparison with hers. And her main subject is landscape and portrait, landscape portrait photography. Uh, if you want to learn how to make good movies describing encounters between humans and people from, well, if you believe in spinning ball globes and stuff like that, other planets, Samantha Mowat is a highly recommended source. If you are part of the SM Hate Club, I don't want anything to do with you, because that's what makes the channel number 3 on my list of creepy and disturbing channels. There are channels which are creepy and disturbing, but they are not intentionally so. She is the nicest person in the world, and these people, they are all coming after her because they want her to do all kinds of things she cannot do, and these people, they want to silence free speech. They want to control the ability of people to tell stories. They want them only to tell stories the way they want to hear. And that's the guy who tried to tell her to leave this island, or these islands. Imagine if you were telling romance stories and someone manages to tell you that he is so displeased with you that the island you are visiting, it's some island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean or something, he wants you to leave it because you are writing romance stories. He does not want to read. Okay, so this guy does not want to read Samantha Mowat stories. Alright, mate. Why are you watching her videos then? This is where the concept of the SM Hate Club comes in, and that's one of the most disturbing online communities I have ever encountered. And the SM Hate Club, or the people who hate Samantha Mowat, they remind me of the Mr. Sleepy community on YouTube, where there are these guys, they take pictures of sleepy women and then they open their eyes and they want to see what their eyes are like. This is something which is a level of creepiness which just goes under your skin. Imagine if you are in a clubhouse and you love to read stories about dancers, and then somebody comes in and they create a whole club dedicated to hating you, and then they want you to tell stories based only on what they want to hear. It's horrifyingly Orwellian in the sense that these people, the SM Hate Club, has become its own unintentionally created Orwellian state, trying to silence one woman they have never even met to begin with. So if you love adventure, and if you love guys like authors like George Orwell, and if you are into things which describe dystopian futures and stuff like that, and if you love stories which describe positive encounters between humans and presumed extraterrestrials, this is the channel for you. And furthermore, if you want to learn to make short films for crews or projects just like Dust, this is the channel for you, because you will find a lot of inspiration where you can make stories like this without having to violate any copyright content or anything like that. And if you want to make any story based on what she's describing. Of course, you contact her and ask her for advice. So, this is a video which describes the third creepy and disturbing YouTube channel on this list, and it's basically showing you that there are people out there on the internet who are incredibly unstable mentally, and imagine what was going to happen if they were cut from the world and they came to power. Then we would not be allowed to decide for ourselves what kind of stories we would like to read or write or watch on TV or make on our own, based on how we value them. And that's it for now.